Alright, we're about to start round two. Um, we got game one against Gerkus Delver. Um, yeah, so I talked a little bit about the list, changes to it. If you're kind of looking at Enchantress for the first time, this list, I'm calling it the Witch House. It's the Living Wish version. I actually originally developed it to combat the Deathrite metagame. Specifically, like Leovold was a huge problem for the deck. So having 4 extra copies of Caracas really helped the matchup a lot. Um, but I've kind of liked it since. For one thing, it just gives you Emrakul without having to play the card like directly in the main deck, and it just improves your threat density and gives you outs against decks that are in situations that are normally problems. So I've been liking it. Been playing it for, I don't know, 14 months or so now. This version, I'm trying to like kind of spread out the threat base a bit. I was on 3 wishes for a while with a lower percentage of the board dedicated to wish targets. I'm back on 4 with 3 invocations. This card has been exceptional since it came out, and it took months for it to. It was on Commander 2018. It took like 5 months for them to print it on MTGO for some reason. But it's been really good, although it does eat up a lot of time. You have to like do a lot of clicking with it, but it's been really, really strong. 2 copies of Zenith. Main deck, it's just for Argothian, but sideboard you get like the naturalized creatures, Gaddock Teague. 1 Guile. I like Mirror's Guile in the deck, but I think it's better as a 1-0 since the second copy is worthless. Almost always, anyway. So this hand has... Well, it really needs that second land, but once we find it, and we could use Wish for it, or even like Abundant Growth or Wild Growth, depending on what we think they might be on. Like the rewards for this hand are very high. PC Cannon VX. It's too long. Let's see if just the PC Cannon, whatever. Alright, I don't know. I don't know what this guy's on. So if they're on a Chalice deck, we'd want to play the Sprawl. So I guess we should actually find it. PC Cannon, what the fuck is this person? VX21. Is there a hyphen there? Or underscore, rather? No, whatever. Alright. But we might want... on a fair deck, we'd want a growth first, so the next turn we could Sprawl Abundant Growth. If they're on a deck with like a way to answer this, like Port, or but then we can Wish for Wasteland if they're on Port. So I think statistically, just go for the Wild Growth here, and hope they're not on a Chalice, or turn 1 Chalice anyway. Oh, I wasted a minute and a half thinking about that. Alright. Skeleton turn, so probably not a Chalice deck. That could mean anything. Alright. It would be nice to make the land drop, but using the Living Wish for that feels a little suboptimal since they could be on a fair deck. And we will probably draw a land at some point in the future. It's hard, obviously, without knowing what they're on. That's the other thing, is like Living Wish blind, like you're losing a lot of value from the card. Especially if you've got like a 12 card Wish board, like I'm running right now. You know, if I get a land and then it turns out they're on like, I don't know, like something where I need, okay, it's just Sneak and Show, alright. Well, I hope they, if they've got Omniscience, we're dead. If they've got Emrakul with Force of Will backup, we're dead. If they've got Grizzlebrand, we're probably dead. I guess we might as well put the Presence in. Doesn't look good. I mean, that's good, although they're probably just getting enforceable. So. Alright. Well, knowing that they're on Snake and Show is important. I could be... No, I wouldn't be Omniscience because they don't play Grizzlebrand. So they're just on probably like a straight up Snake and Show. It'd be useful to know if they're on Cunning Wish or not. And they had a turn 2, so I mean that happens, I suppose. Every once in a while. Well, I don't think this Living Wish is likely to resolve. So we could play the Trop, sprawl into grass, hope to find another grass. I think that's better than like going into a wish that they undoubtedly have a counter for. And grass will stop the Grizzlebrand, although it won't stop an Emrakul, but it should stop a sneak attack to Emrakul next turn, but not like a show and tell into whatever. They didn't have the Force of Polar originally. Man, if they whiff, that would be great, but that's expecting a lot. That does put Tomb out of their reach if they force. That's interesting. So we would like a... We could wish here and get Knight of Autumn. Let's think about this for a second. If we wish to get Knight of Autumn, that takes out the Omniscience plan if, like, undoubtedly they have another show and tell at this point, right? The odds are very, very high, especially since they don't have Force of Will, apparently. Or maybe they just decide they don't need it. So they're going to go, like, Omniscience, probably. That's the scariest thing, right? If they do that, we can Abundant Growth, Utopia Sprawl, draw 5 cards out of 46. There's 46 cards left in the deck. We need one of the 2 Oblivion Rings, and we draw 5 cards. There's a 20% chance, 21, versus Living Wish. I think I'm going to get the Living Wish. I mean, they could force it, but then they can't. Ancient Tomb. I mean, they probably have a City of Traders. But maybe they'll let the Wish resolve. And I mean, they could have Cunning Wish anyway, and just like kill us in response to the Knight of Autumn trigger. But I think I'm willing to take that chance. They're going for it. I mean, so it's either an Omniscience or an Emrakul. If it's an Emrakul, we can try to go off anyway. The scary thing is, of course, if it's... Let's hope they don't have Cunning Wish. They probably do that. This is a real tense one. They were at a significant advantage. Like, when you don't know what they're on, it's harder. Because, like, it's easy for them to disguise themselves, obviously. Oh, shit. They're main decking Wipe Away? That seems so bad. Alright. I mean, they're going to get another 7 cards. Or maybe they'll just keep the life. I mean, they got to choose. Depends on how many Lotus Petals they're holding on to, huh? Alright. That's good, actually, for us. I guess that means like, we can't counterattack, so they can draw the life pretty freely. Unless we draw a Wish. And then we'll get Chrysalid Pride Mage and blow them out with an Argothian attacking for 1. It's going to be sick. Weird that they wouldn't like start with the Brainstorm. They're main decking Echoing Truth and Wipe Away. That suggests they're probably running 4 Omniscience, right? Because why else would you main deck? Fucking, especially Wipe Away. That's 3 mana, double blue. Can't really cast that all that easily in this deck with your colorless mana, unless an Omniscience is in play. Right. Attack for 7. And then it'll be interesting to see whether they want to draw the extra cards or not, or maybe they're just gonna go for it now. Although you would have thought they'd go like, I don't know. Well, we are going to, I guess, lead off with the free cards. It's general policy in Enchantress. Let's get some extra information. Sanctum's good. Could sure use that mana. I know we're going to want to play the grass. That's a certainty. Alright. Now we draw a Living Wish. Chrysalid Pride Mage. It's going to be sick. It actually would be sick. I mean, it's not like they can force it. Do we want to pay that? I think we're going to draw another. We've got a lot of card draw coming up, I think. And if we'd had the Sanctum first, that would have been different, but I think we'll let it slide, especially since they're at 1. I can't force anymore. Yeah, we can just like straight up kill them, right? Am I missing something? This is gonna be funny, right? I think it's gonna be funny. I think it's pretty funny. You guys, I almost accidentally pressed the Gaddock. I'm gonna draw the cards just because of abundant growth. I mean, no reason not to, really. Is there something I'm missing here that's gonna like really fuck me? They can't even submerge if they're main decking that too, since apparently they're playing their side deck main. Or sideboard main. Well, I think this is funny. Personally. Kinda wanna take a screenshot. Nice. I don't think we were gonna get this one, guys. I'll be honest. Fucking sweet. Alright. Okay. So, if they're on the regular Sneak and Show version, I'm going to take out Confinement. Against Omnitel, I sometimes leave it in just because that version is more reliant on intuition, and intuition actually targets. Let's see, what else can go? What? No, you're right over there. Doomway can go. It's literally just a 4/6. It's never enough to kill the guys that it needs to kill, or gals. Ground Seal can go. Doesn't do anything. And Invocation is already going to do a lot of work with O-Rain and Grass, so we don't necessarily need the extra cantrips. We definitely want Choke. Now, they might not be on Wish, but they're definitely on some number of instants, like bounce stuff, so in the Eye of Chaos is going to be important. Because, like, if we have it in play, then Omniscience isn't, like, as free as it looks. Pride Mage is going to come in as a Zenith target, because that way we can blow it up whenever we want. And Knight of Autumn is going to be a Wish target, because that way what we want is to have it in our hand. Gaddock T comes in because with Grizzlebrand, you know, that it's an indicator that they're on the sneak attack version, not just like Omnitel. So he stops sneak attack. He also stops Force of Will. Caracas is going to be a big Wish target. Knight of Autumn is going to be a big Wish target. Ooh, should I be running Peacekeeper? So in theory, Peacekeeper is good against them. Emrakul comes in because, like, not only can you put it into play off if they get greedy with an early show and tell, but also it can, in your deck, it can stop them from going for the release that ants kill if they are on Cunning Wish. Let's see, Wasteland is good, but kind of situational, so maybe leave that as a Wish target. That's too many Wish targets, though, against a combo deck. You don't want to have that many. So these come out for sure. One Argothian can come out because they might bring in Pyroclasm, and we're sort of like playing the control role here. We don't necessarily need. So I guess Replenish can also go. I would rather like certainly have Peacekeeper than Replenish, and I'm debating that. I think I do want Peacekeeper. Over what though? Or another Enchantress? That's a lot of Enchantresses to take out. Maybe over a Sanctum? I think maybe over a Sanctum. Because Sanctum's more useful for like going off, and we don't really, it's not like they're playing Wasteland, so. And we're probably going to be like wishing for Caracas and possibly Wasteland. And I guess this way we can actually wish for Sanctum anyway, if we really need it. Sanctum certainly wouldn't have helped that hand. Alright. I'll keep it. Having O-Rain in hand is really important. It basically like stops show and tell unless they've got like a stifle effect or something, or a Cunning Wish like ready to go. We don't need that. We want a second land, so we're gonna Utopia Sprawl. They could have brought in Blood Moon, in which case we don't want to get a non-basic because if Blood Moon comes into play, Sprawl will fall off because it says Enchant Forest, so if it's on a mountain, it's not going to do anything. So I guess we get, okay, well, we name Blue. Yeah, we're just going to get a basic forest and name Blue and hope to draw land. Then we're going to play in the Eye of Chaos. We're going to have the O-Rain in hand. Maybe we play the check first. It depends on if they tap out. And if we draw that land. If not, obviously we wish for Caracas, which will be both a land and, you know, Caracas. Unless they miss a land drop, in which case we could get the Wasteland, but that's a little greedy, I don't know. But I do like the idea of like being able to like wish for a Wasteland when people miss land drops, like just because that applies against like almost every deck in the format. And obviously it's very situational, but like it's for every single deck. Hopefully they go for the show and tell here, don't have a Cunning Wish. Arcane Artisan, interesting. Well, Caracas seems really good against her. So we got that going for us. Land. Yes. We are going to go ahead, and we don't need the black mana, obviously. We might need the white, even though we don't want to hard cast the Oblivion Ring. We're going to go for the choke. and hope that it lands and that they don't have another blue source. Even if they do, we can wish next turn. Alright. Well, that's fine, because the Force of Will can't stop the Correctus. Although, it could be a problem if, well, at this point they can't Artisan. Well, if they go for Grizzlebrand, they can't draw 14 cards, they can only draw 7. Well, I hope they don't have a Spell Pierce and an Emrakul, because then we'll be in trouble and have to go to game 2. I kind of telegraphed that I had a Caracas, but they should probably have sold that anyway. I hope they don't have the combo here. I mean, the thing is, if they like randomly have the combo in hand with like Force of Will backup, then like, okay. Alright, well, that was pretty fucking lucky. There's no way out of this, right? Yeah, whatever. Okay, that's fine. They got very lucky, and you know, that happens. It is kind of what the deck is hinging on. If they are on the draw, I'm not sure anything changes about our plan. Maybe we want the extra land in that case, though. Because we have one fewer card draw. I don't know. No, I think it's fine. So we've got turn 2 Wish. We've got some stuff in hand that is useful to have. I think we keep it. I think we're gonna wish for the Caracas. I think it's right to name. The thing is, we'll have the Abundant Growth out by the time we want the invocation anyway, so I guess we just go ahead and name white. There could be an argument for green, but white is probably correct. Since we have a land drop and they probably on Spell Pierce, I'm going to hold off on the Wish and just play the Pride Mage. Since this is resolved, I don't know if I should abundant growth. I doubt. If they show and tell and omniscience, we need the Pride Mage. I guess leaving this up. Yeah, I guess there's no. It's greedy not to leave it up because this way, like, show and tell is completely useless. Because like, if they yeah. Sneak attack could still be a problem, but I've got Caracas next turn for that. If they miss a land drop, is it right to like destroy the pedal and then waste the ball? I think that would be right. Did that look like they were digging for land to you? Like, should we? It's still probably greedy to like waste in this scenario because they actually haven't missed a land drop yet. If we get we're pretty like safe against show and tell, so like we're just worried about sneak attack at this point, which Pride Mage Caracas should handle pretty easily. Let's attack first. I don't know. The Wasteland looks so tempting. I feel like they were definitely. And if we Wasteland, they can't show and tell, or they can't sneak attack. And we might just like completely fuck them because let's see. They shuffled their library, finally drew the land they needed. I'm pretty sure that looked a lot like land digging to me, man. Like otherwise you wouldn't blow the pedal, right? We leave the land open. We're still protected from show and tell through the Pride Mage and the Emrakul. I guess they could still like hard cast Emrakul in response and kill us, so maybe that's wrong. But they would need that exactly in hand. But they've done a lot of sculpting. So versus like if in that situation we would destroy it in response and then Caracas, which is just safer overall. Yeah, I think I just do that. I don't know if that's like wrong though. I don't know. The Wasteland just seems a little greedy right now, that's all. But it's also, at the same time, incredibly tempting. Walk into a Spell Pierce. Yeah. like that since they're not even tapped out. Like they could into it, turn something. Do they need double pedal though? I guess they just need pedal and a land. The stack here could matter. I think I need to destroy it in response with interesting. It's an interesting choice, considering that's a card that's like super dead to Caracas. Right, it is, right? Don't have it. Maybe they're thinking like, okay, if I attack, they make a guy. They got a 4. Yeah, this could. I could see how this. Well, no, they still need another land and or a lotus petal. Like, yeah, no, and a lotus petal. This is weird. I think Invocation is better than Enchantress here, though. Or maybe I should have actually in the Eye of Chaos. I was thinking like against Snake Attack and Artisan it doesn't do anything. Let's see. If I attack, alright, they make a guy. They go to 4. Right, let's assume they've got something in hand by now. They go to 4. I have to bounce it with Caracas. They untap the Tomb. They go to 3 to 1. They need another non-fetch land and a petal and another guy. And then they what? They make a Grizzlebrand doesn't, well, it gains them life, but that's really not that impressive. Then if it's an Emrakul, can I survive that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually can survive Emrakul, and then I untap with Caracas, and their lands are still tapped. So I think that's right. Is that right? And that still requires like a fair number of cards for them, and I still survive. I could still destroy the sneak attack as well, but not before like they get an activation off of it. Of course, I could put both into play, but that would require another Lotus Petal in addition. That just seems really unlikely, and one's already down. Whereas if I wait, I'm kind of giving them time, although to find bounce, which we know they have, and they could bounce the choke. I think their life is a pretty important resource right now. I think I go for it. But if they take this, they can't use the lands. Right? Isn't this declared block step? Where are we? Right. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I need to get to bounce it, that's right, yeah. So you still take, go to 1, you can't use any of your lands, yeah. Right? Okay. Almost fucked it up. Yeah, okay, so now you can't use any lands, so you need like, I don't even know what you need. I don't think it's possible. Right. Okay, cool. That was a tense one. Against Sneak and Show, it's always tense. I do think it's like pretty much like right on the line of being 50-50. Invocation might have helped a little bit, but I don't think it's still further from that than like, it's definitely very like, give or take like a 2% margin of error. It's on the 50-50 line. So we got a 2-1. Yeah. I will see you guys in round number